ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। So I hope you remember something which we studied, okay? Because I can't repeat the same thing over and over. So 9 days we have repeated something. Now I don't want to repeat it too many times. But we have to recall what we did once. So I make sure you remember something at least, all right? So types of words, only 2. That's a way of saying we'll look into it a little more. Subanta and Tinganta. Broadly speaking, Tinganta means verbs. Subanta means nouns, broadly speaking. What is sup and thing? They are pratyayas, which get added to a dhatu or a pratipadika respectively. So then we saw that when we look at a Tinganta pada, the Tinganta pada becomes the starting point for analyzing a sentence. It can denote either the karta, the agent of the action, or the karma, or the bhava. Karta karma is very important. These are called kartari prayoga, karmani prayoga, and bhave prayoga respectively. In the kartari prayoga, what will be in the first case? The karta, the agent of the action, will be in the first case. In karmani prayoga, what will be in the first case? The karma of the action, the object for that action, will be in first case. What case will karta be in karmani prayoga? In the third case. Good. Third case. This is like the basics. We cannot afford to forget these, okay? Then we saw how many persons are there? 3. First, second, third. What is first person? I. Second person, you, who I'm talking to. Third person is what? Everything other than I and you is third person. Numbers. How many numbers? Vachana. Ekavachanam, 1. Dvivachanam, 2. And Bahuvachanam, 3. All right. So once we know what prayoga it is, we have a basic idea of karta and karma karaka, which cases they'll be as nouns. And then what do? We look at the others. How many karakas? We saw 6 karakas. Kartrikaraka, agent. Karma karaka, the object. Karana karaka, instrument. Sampradana, apadana, adhikarana. 6 karakas. And everything else is sambandha. I told you, really every karaka is a sambandha, relationship. The specialized relationships are called karakas. And the unspecialized or generalized relation is just called a relationship in a way. And karaka gives you the relationship between the verb and the noun. Various nouns involved in the action. Then we saw that each of these karakas must map to a vibhakti for the noun to express the karaka. And the nouns have 7 vibhaktis. Subanta padas come in 7 vibhaktis, 3 vachanas. Prathama vibhakti, first case, Dvitiya vibhakti, second case, etc. Then we saw first vibhakti will always be representing whatever is denoted by the verb will be in first case. Undenoted karma will be in second case. means not karmani prayoga. That's all. Undenoted means not karmani prayoga. Undenoted karana will be in third case. Undenoted karta will also be in third case. Right? I don't have to keep saying undenoted, but that's the way it's easier to keep in mind that whatever is denoted goes in first case. Everything else takes other cases. Sixth case is all somebodies. Right? Then in verbs we saw the verbs are formed of an optional upasarga plus a dhatu plus thing pratyaya. When the thing pratyaya comes, a vikarana pratyaya may walk in between. Therefore, upasarga plus dhatu plus vikarana pratyaya plus thing pratyaya gives you what? A thinganta padam. And they will involve what? What type of endings the dhatu can take? Atmane pada or parasmay pada or both types of endings. Right? If it is karmani or bhave prayoga, the dhatu will always take atmane pada endings, no other way. Right? And then we saw that these thing pratyas are totally 18, 9 plus 9. But they have to represent all the possible time, tenses and modes. They are covered through what we call lakara. Lat lakara is what we have looked at so far, which is present tense. Lang lakara, one type of past tense. Lit lakara, another type of past tense. Lot, imperative. Vidhiling, another kind of, potential or imperative modes will come there. So these are the important lakaras. Then we have the others also. We have lung, we have, ashirling, we have late, right? So the other lakaras also have to be looked at, but not in a rush. We get into them as we go, right? So this much we saw, and plus we saw the fact that how do you connect a sentence, how you identify the verb, you find the karakas connected, vibhakti is connected, and try to understand the sentence. All right. And we saw that there are several prototypes for these nouns, which are based on the gender and the letter which ends it. Like akaranta pullingaha rama shabdaha, ikaranta pullingaha hari shabdaha, etc. Or ikaranta strilinga nadi shabda, akaranta napumsakalinga phala shabda, and several sarvanama. What are sarvanamas? Pronouns, which can be used for any word, so to say, because you have three genders in pronouns, but he, she, it are very general. You can use it for any third person. And what is the only shabda which will come in first person? Asmad shabda, I. Yushmad shabda is the only one which will come in second person. All other shabdas have to be what? Third person. Right? So this much we have looked at. All right. I don't want to get back into that right now. Today, we will begin with looking at avyayas. Okay. So that we'll make some progress, and then we will come back and look at what. Right. So I'm going to show you the page from sabda-manjari for avyaya first. Okay. We'll start with that. So there is a prakarana in sabda-manjari called avyaya. Prakarana means the chapter. It's on page 145. If you want to look at the book, it's on page 145. Now, what is an avyaya? He defines yesham padanam linga vibhakti vachana nimittakah rupa bhedah nasti tani avyayani iti uchyante. Uchyante means what? Karmani prayoga. Said to be. Uchyante iti. Iti itself is an avyaya. Iti means what? Look, in English, you have a possibility of a direct speech and an indirect speech, correct? In school, we would get exercises. Convert direct to indirect. So suppose it says king, king. and it says, come here. Now you have to say, the king said to them, ask the minister to come here, or something like that you have to write. In Sanskritam, there is no concept of indirectly. Therefore, if you want to show that somebody is saying it, and how do you put a quotation mark? In English, you put double quotes. How do you do that in Sanskritam? Whatever you want to quote, you end that section with iti. Iti is like a quotation. So if I say, what is your name? Shankaraha iti. If I say, my name is Shankara, mama nama Shankaraha iti. That iti says what? That Shankara is being quoted. The word may be quoted. A whole phrase or a sentence may be quoted verbatim by using iti. And what kind of a word is iti? Iti itself is an avyaya. Okay. It has many other meanings. We will get into it. But first basic meaning, I mean, for iti is one meaning is this. All right. So now, want definition, want to define what is avyaya. So, tani avyayani. Tani avyayani iti uchyante. What is tani? What ending does it look like? Tani. Phalam phale phalani. Does it remember? Does it ring a bell somewhere? Okay. Tani. So, those. Avyaya is now in this context neuter. Note. Otherwise, tani won't come. Avyaya. Akaranta napumsakalinga. Avyayani. Avyayani is the noun. What qualifies it? An adjective, as far as possible, should take the same gender, same number, same vibhakti. That's how you know what qualifies what. So a qualifier, see, we call in English an adjective. In Sanskritam, the word for a qualifier would be visheshana. Visheshana. Good word to remember. Visheshana means what? Vishesha means something special, qualifying. Visheshana, that which qualifies, or that by which something is qualified. Both ways will work. So you can now see the word Visheshana is a generic word for any qualifier. A generic word for any qualifier. What is adjective? Visheshana. What is adverb? Visheshana. What is an extra way to understand it's an adverb against an adjective? You add one more thing. Kriya Visheshana. Kriya means what? Verb. Visheshana is what? Qualifier. Verbal qualifier or verb qualifier. What is verb qualifier? That which qualifies a verb, the way of doing an action. The way in which an action is done. Suppose I say, eat. He eats. Saha khadati. He eats. Someone. How does he eat? How does he eat? He eats quickly. He eats quickly. What is quickly now? That is called an adverb. He eats quickly. So quickly I have to say. How do I say it? That will be an avyaya. Okay. But the word quickly, since I have gotten into a topic, now the point is this. A visheshana, an adjective, what gender can it take? What gender should a visheshana be? So you take an example, okay? Neela. Have you heard the word Neela? Neela means blue or dark. Both meanings are there. Neela. Is it? Which gender should I give it now? The gender of an adjective preferably should be the gender of the noun. It is qualifying. Now, a gender like, a gender like hard, soft, or Neela, a color, they should preferably take all genders. Same word should take all genders. And then what do? You qualify it with a specific gender when you use, deciding, I want to use this word in this gender. For example, suppose you're talking of the blue sky. You're talking of the blue sky. What is the word for sky? You have to know. What words do you know? One word is akasha. Akasha. Another word is ambara. Have you heard the words? Ambara, akasha. Akasha is what gender now? It is masculine. What is ambara? It is neuter. Okay. Therefore, when I take Neela, what should I do now? I should say Neelaha Akashaha. Because masculine Akasha. Therefore, Neela should also go like masculine only, like Ramshan. Akaranta Pullinga. Right? But suppose I'm declining Ambara, qualifying Ambara, it should take a neuter. Neela should become neuter. So what will become? Phalavat. Like the word phala. How does phala decline? Phalam, phale, phalani. Phalam, phale, phalani. Therefore, what would happen to Neela? Neelam, ambaram. Neelam, ambalam. Neelam, utpalam. Lily. Right? Neelaha, akasha. Now, suppose a woman has got a long hair. That braided hair is called Veni. Veni. Don't need this word, okay? This just came to my mind. What would that be now? That's feminine. Veni is feminine. Therefore, I want to say dark hair. How will I say? Neela Veni. I cannot say Neelaha. I cannot say Neelam. I would say Neela. Why? Because the noun happens to be in a feminine gender. The qualifier has to go in a feminine gender. Is this clear? This is how adjectives will work, have to work. Sometimes we will have situations where an adjective has a fixed gender. You cannot mess with it. But there are many which will be universal gender. And this universal gender, see, I told you so far, what are the three genders? Masculine, pullinga, feminine, strilinga, and neuter, napumsakalinga. What will this now be called for an adjective? What's gender then? It will either be called, it will be called trilingi. Trilingi means what? In three lingas, it has all three lingas. It can work in any of the three genders. But don't think that the same word will be used in three genders directly. Pratipadika is same. Pratipadika is same. Pratipadika is what? Noun base is the same. When you use masculine, it will be same. No trouble. That's how it is. That's how the system is, okay? Masculine will be same. If it's a halanta, means ending in a consonant, typically nothing will change. It will be same in all three genders, typically. But if it is a vowel ending, trouble starts. Some trouble starts, okay? You have to now do something to that word. If it's ending in a, it has to become a or e. Something has to happen. This is what I mentioned to you, that there is a whole set of pratyayas in the language whose job is only one thing. Give me a word in masculine, and if that same word can be in feminine, I will convert it for you. That's the job. These pratyayas are called stri pratyayas. It's not that the pratyayas are feminine, okay? The pratyayas are those which convert a masculine word for use as a feminine noun. Are you clear? Start with a masculine word, takes a pratyaya, an ending, and when you add it, what will you get? You will get the same noun, same meaning, but with a feminine sense. There is no difference in meaning. For example, suppose you have the word aja. Now Vedanta aja, you don't take. What is aja here? A goat. Aja is a goat. Aja will be what? She goat. Aja will be she goat. Ashwa. For each, you can convert. Sometimes words will be different. Now you take the word pati. What does pati mean? Husband or the protector. That's what it really means. Pati iti pati, the one who protects. What is feminine gender for that now? That becomes patni. It doesn't become pati. It becomes patni. Why, Swamiji? Don't ask that. That's how the word is. But when does she get the name patni? Only if she is married with the person through a Vedic ceremony, through a yajna. So, patyurno yajna sanyoge. That's a Panini Sutra, which says that this pati, the word pati, will take a na, will get a na extra if the lady has been joined through a yajna sanyoge sati. It will become patna. Then something else will come and add an e and make it patni. So now, is there any difference between the word pati and patni? None, except in gender. No difference. So it's not one is superior, one is inferior. No, it's the same. Language says it all. It's the same meaning, except gender is feminine. Right? So for every adjective, it could be what? Trilingi. If it's trilingi, what should you do? You have to now take the adjective and see which gender you want and add, use the pratipadika in the appropriate gender. This is clear? So it could be feminine, it could be masculine, it could be neuter, like Neelaha, Neela, Neelam. Neelam, I'm just saying so you understand neuter. Otherwise, pratipadika is Neela only, akarantam. It is not makarantam. Okay? Now, if I want to say he is eating fast, that's where I took off from. He is eating fast. What is the adjective for fast or slow? Slow is manda. Slow is manda. Slow. Fast is vega. Vega. I hope you can hear. I'm not writing it. I'm hoping you can hear me and understand what I'm saying. Right? Now, this is a noun. Vega, manda, or both nouns. If you want to use it as an adverb, what should you do? The rule is this. You use the neuter form and you use second person singular or third person singular. Are you with me? You take the adjective in the noun form. You assume it's a neuter ending noun. And with that word, you take the second case singular or the third case singular. And that will be an adverb. Generally, okay? Because see, you have a verb, eats. You have a verb, eats. What gender does it have? Eats. Do you remember? Do verbs have gender or no? Tingantapada. I made it clear. They are free from gender. Right? They are gender neutral. I use that word. They are gender neutral. Now, what gender can you put for this, for adverb then? Should take no gender. So convention, this is just a convention, okay? I decide to use the neuter form of the adjective. It doesn't mean that, in a way you can say it's neither this nor that, but now neuter also is not gender. So you don't, it's just a convention, use neuter gender. And what second case singular or third case singular? Because the verb is a verb. It doesn't require a number there in that context, an adverb. So we just take that. So for example, what will happen now? Mandam khadati. Manda is akaran. It will decline like what? Phalam. Phalam phale phalani. Phalam phale phalani. So what will be second case singular of manda? Mandam. Mandam mande mandani. Mandam mande mandani. So mandam is what now? If you choose to use an adverb, it just means slowly. It means slowly. Or I can say mandena khadati. Mandam khadati, eat slowly, or mandena khadati. Similarly, vegam dhavati, runs fast. Runs in running also faster. Vegam. Or vegena va dhavati, runs fast. Same meaning. Could come vegena, could be vegam. Could be mandam, could be mandena. So these are good things to know, because now if you know this much, every adjective which can be an adverb, you know how the form comes. And if you look at a dictionary, it will just tell you it's a, sometimes it'll just tell you it's an avyaya. Why? Because every adverb is treated as an avyaya. But what they don't tell you is it a second case singular or third case singular. Now it's confusing. Is vegam a noun or is it avyaya? It is both. It is both. Contextually only it becomes an adverb and an avyaya. Otherwise it isn't. All right. And when you ask a question, this is just by the way, when you ask a question, suppose I say, I want to know who is at the door. Somebody rings your bell. You want to know who is at the door. What gender will you use? You could use anything, but the general thing is if you don't know a gender, you can use neuter in general. If you don't know gender, you can use a neuter word if there are choices available. That's the general rule. Okay? Samanye napumsakam. All right? So now we will get back to our definition of avyaya. I just took off a little to make sure you understand adjective and avyaya. Sorry, adjective and adverb. Adjective is not called an avyaya. Why? Because it's declining in one of genders. Adverb doesn't decline and it's called an avyaya. But the form is third person singular or second person singular of the same adjective in neuter. Okay? Is this clear? Unclear. Clear or unclear? I heard saw a head shaking. I wasn't sure it means clear or unclear. Not clear? Okay. If it's not clear, raise your hand, please. Okay, I will try and explain. All right. Look. Did you understand what I'm trying to say? You understand what's an adverb first? Is there any doubt there? Okay. Now we want to say you run fast. You want to say run fast. Now, do I need a separate word in the language as an adverb? Fast exists in the language. This is a fast car. Ferrari is a fast car. You understand that clearly? Fast is what? An adjective. Therefore, what should be Subanta Pada? Is that clear? Up to fast car, you're clear? Right? So it is Vahanaha and has speed. See, in English, we say fast. But in Sanskrit, Vegavan Vahan. Vegavan, one which has speed. Right? Now I have done this. Vega is basic. One is only to say has speed. Right? Now the point is I have a word Vega for speed. I have word Manda for slow. Can I not use the same word to qualify a verb also? That makes it easier. Meaning is same. Manda is same. Right? But I want some distinction to say, how do I use it the verb? With the use with a noun, I make the adjective qualify the noun, which means it will take the same case, the same gender, the same number. Are you with me? But when I do it for a verb, I don't have all these characteristics in a verb. So how do I distinguish that it's an adverb? The way it is done in the language is when you have an adjective in a noun form, when you have an adjective in the noun form, which, what are the sounds I'm hearing? Okay. When you have adjective in a noun form, then you take that and you place it in neuter one. First, make it a neuter base. So manda will become what? Neuter base, manda only. Nothing will change. Correct? Neuter, manda, manda. Feminine, whatever, manda it will be. Forget about it for now. Vega will be what? Vega. And what is for feminine? I don't know. I haven't checked. But when you want to make an adverb, you take that word and now you decline it in neuter and take the second form singular or second case singular or third case singular as your adverb. This is clear now? So vega is there. Vegam, vege, vegani. Vegam, vege, vegani. Vegena, right? Vegabhyam, vegaihi, etc. That's how it will decline. Now, what is second case singular? Vegam. What is third case singular? Vegena. Both these words you can assume can be used adverbially. And when you use them adverbially, they are avyayas. They don't decline. There's a fixed form for it. There is no other form. That word is called a avyaya. Is this clear? Now, still anybody unclear? Good. All right. So now let us go back to the definition of avyaya. We have already understood at some level. What did we define avyaya as? Long ago, I told you. An avyaya is that which does not change. Does not change because of what? Does not change its form on account of gender or on account of number or on account of vibhakti. Three things are involved in the subanta. Vibhakti, first, second, third, fourth, fifth case, seventh, eighth case, and then the other two axes are what? You have the gender is there all the way in every word, and number is there. So on account of all three, forms are changing. What's an avyaya? On account of these three, the word will not change. Right? In Vedanta also we use the word avyaya. What do we mean there? That which does not change. Navyeti iti avyayaha. Same meaning. But here the change is in terms of karta, bhokta. Right? I take various roles. But in Sanskritam, what is that? The change is only based on linga, the gender, the vibhakti, case, and vachana, the number. All right. This is what you will find. He's defining the word avyaya as. So, yesham padanam, 6 case plural each. Yesham padanam. Linga vibhakti vachana nimittakaha rupa bhedaha nasti. Rupa bhedaha. What is rupa bheda? A change in form. Rupanam bhedaha, rupeshu bheda. Change in a form. Rupa is a form. Nasti. What is nasti? Asti is. What is nasti? Is not. What is not? Rupa bheda is not there. A change in form is not there. Because of what? Nimitta means a cause. Nimittakaha means because of a particular cause. What cause? Linga vibhakti vachana. On account of linga, gender, vibhakti, case, or vachana, on account of these three, the one which has no forms, that kind of words. Yesham padanam. Tani, this yat and tat. There are two words involved here. If you looked at Sarvanama Shabda so far, yad is relative. And the correlated one is called tad. He who. Who went to the boy who goes to school is the boy who's playing here. The one who goes to school is the one playing here. The one who went to my school is today, the MLA. Whatever it is, right? That and this you have to correlate the two. So here, those words, yesham padana, those words for which or in which there is no change due to the gender, the case or number. Those tani, those are called iti uchyante are called avyayani. They are called avyayas. Is this clear? So you can see the same thing is saying in English. Avyaya is a word which has no gender, case, or number, which undergoes change, no change, and which undergoes no change. All right. He is giving a loose translation. I'm trying to make this opportunity also into one where you learn the language. Because you have to learn yat and tat has to be learned. Padanam. What case is that? We should see. You know, phalanam, padanam, raman, latanam. Am is there. What is it? 6 case plural. Yesham, tesham. 6 case again. Sarvesham. Right? That sham will tell you typically it will be a pronoun 6 case plural. Okay. And here avyaya prakaranam. There should be a hyphen between the two. It's not a separate word. Avyaya prakaranam. One word. Means what? Prakarana is a section. And avyaya prakarana will be what? A section whose subject matter is avyayas. Talking about a section on avyayas. All right. Now, he further defines it. What is he defining it as? Sadrisham trishu lingeshu sarvasu cha vibhaktishu vachaneshu cha sarveshu yat navyeti tat avyayam. Now, yat navyeti. Yat means what? That. I want you to again mark relative, correlative. Yat is that. That. What is that? Navyeti, which does not change. Navyeti does not change. Tat, that is what? Avyayam is an avyayam. This is how you learn the language, partly by listening and correlating words. That is avyayam. And avyayam is what? Neuter. Therefore, avyayam, like phalam. Tat avyayam. And what does it not change in sadrisham trishu lingeshu? Shu, lingeshu. What case is that? You should be able to spot these now. Otherwise, you will feel lost. Lingeshu. What case? What number? 7th case and plural. Good. 7th case plural. Very good. 7th case plural. So what does it mean? With respect to or in all, what are they? Linga, gender, vachana, case, sorry, number, and vibhakti, case. So in all cases, all genders and all numbers, trishu lingeshu, right? Now, he could have said in all vibhakti. How does this thing say? All vibhakti? Vibhakti is feminine. Vibhakti is feminine. So what has to qualify that? A pronoun which means all. A pronoun which means all is sarva. Sarva. In feminine, it becomes sarva. Okay? Sarva. Now you have to know how sarva declines. How does sarva decline? It will decline like Rama for most part. Sarva, sarve, sarvaha. Sarvam, sarve, sarvaha, etc. And then what will happen? In 7th case plural, sarvasu, latasu, ramasu. You can't miss it. But you should know akaranta strilinga well. If you know, you can spot it as what? 7th case plural of sarva. So what does it mean now? All vibhaktis. In all vibhaktis. Sarvasu vibhaktishu. Vibhaktishu alone will mean what? In vibhaktis. What does sarvasu add? In all. That's a qualifier. Adjective. In all vibhaktis. Sarvasu vibhaktishu. Trishu lingeshu. 3 is 3. 3 is 3. Good for us, okay? English 3 is Sanskrit 3. Same meaning. In all 3 genders, in all vibhaktis, and in, you can say in all 3 vachanas or in all vachanas. Let's see what he did. So he says what? Vachaneshu cha sarveshu. Vachaneshu cha sarveshu. Vachana. Is it feminine? Vachana. Not feminine. You cannot have an a ending feminine. Okay, this you note. You will not have a feminine ending in a. If it is there, it will become a. No escape. That's the rule. Therefore, you see a word vachana. One thing you should be sure of is what? It is not feminine. It could be masculine. It could be feminine. Right? Vachanam, vachane, vachanani. If you know once, then you will fix it. Oh, vachanam, therefore neuter. You work on it that way. So you get now what? Vachana is a neuter word. Ending in what? A, short a. What's the template for it? Phala. Again. Seventh case plural will be what? Phaleshu. So what will it be here? Vachaneshu. Are you with me? So sarveshu vachaneshu. Now sarva is going in what case? What gender? Neuter. Because vachana is in neuter. Sarva has to go in neuter. Therefore, sarveshu vachaneshu. Whereas here, sarvasu in the first line, sarvasu vibhaktishu. Right? So trishu lingeshu in all three genders. Sarvasu vibhaktishu in all the three in all the vibhaktis. This cha means and. It's a conjunction. And vachaneshu cha sarveshu. And in all the numbers. Ekavachana, divachana, and bahuvachana. Yat navyeti. That which does not change. Tat, that is avyayam. Tat avyayam. Where is you supply asti. Tat avyayam asti. You supply it. It's not here. Bhavati asti. You have to supply. Uktancha. And this is said. So you can see now. Basically, is giving you. He told you first that which doesn't change, and he gave you the same definition in other words. Is this clear? So understand what an avyaya is. And note this how this relative correlative handle. Yat tat. Just make a note. Right? And how an adjective and a noun have to take the same case, number and gender. That's an important learning. Whenever you have a qualifier, it must take the same gender, same case, same number. That is called samanadhikaranyam. Okay. Now, having done that, he is going to explain things a little further. So he's saying adjectives will become anavyaya when used as adverbs. I told you just now, few minutes ago. I told you in more detail. So he says, yatha sundaram gamanam. He's giving an example. Gamanam is going. Right? So when you say gamanam, gamanam is a noun. It means the abstract noun meaning of the word to go, going. Sundaram gamanam. Beautiful going, walking. Beautiful walking. It is beautiful walking. Now, here the word sundaram is what? It is qualifying the word gamanam. Therefore, it is an adjective. In English terms, it is an adjective. It's a visheshana. But then, saha eva sundaram gacchati. Okay? Suppose you want to say he, the beautiful fellow, walks. You would have said saha eva sundaraha. But it's saha eva sundaram gacchati. Where is sundaram going with? Not with saha. It is going with gacchati. He walks. How? Beautifully. How do you say beautifully? Sundaram. Okay. So he says here in second sentence, sundaram is avyayam. I already explained that to you. Okay. He is giving you an example of the word sundara. All right. Then he is telling you a few types of avyayas. Okay. So far, are you clear? Any problem? Okay. So now I have kept telling you till now that there is only two types of subanta and tinganta. Then what is avyaya? It is subanta which has lost its sup endings. This is one way of looking at it, which is a traditional Paninian way of looking at it. Some others will say, no, no, we don't agree with this. There are words which are not derived, which means they don't take a soup or anything. They just are the way they are. That school of thought will say it is, they don't believe in everything being derived using adding soup, pratyaya, etc. It just falls in place. It is called nipata. Nipata means what? It fell into place like that. Pata dhatu, you know. Nipata. So a cha. What is cha? Cha means and. What does it mean? And. How did it come? Now you have to imagine one dhatu, one pratyaya, all that. Don't do all that. Cha is just the way it's nipata. Okay. So there are words like this which are just called nipata. So technically we will say it is subanta which lost its endings, but another way of looking at it, just a nipata. And you remember we talked of upasarga. What is upasarga? A prefix that gets added to a dhatu. So there are some grammarians who believe that there are 4 types of words. What? One is nipata, one is upasarga, and then subanta and nipata. Somebody will define like that also. This is not of great interest to us. If you don't remember, it doesn't matter to me. This you can afford to forget. Okay. But the word nipata in English should be translated as a particle. That's why I mentioned it. They will translate it as a word particle. The word avyaya will be translated as indeclinable. Declinable means what? That which changes forms with the vibhakti, vachana, and linga. What is indeclinable? That which cannot decline, does not decline. Therefore, they call it indeclinable. Nouns decline. Adjectives decline. Verbs decline. Sometimes verbs they'll say conjugate. Doesn't matter. Use word conjugate or decline. For me, it's interchangeable. Okay. They just mean that some changes happen due to these factors to the word. So what is an avyaya? Which does not change. Therefore, is not declinable. That's why it doesn't change. If it could decline, it would change. Therefore, indeclinable. This is what they are called. Right? Now, another important thing to learn when you're learning language is how to use a dictionary in Sanskrit. You should learn. Now, you tell me, logically, can you find all the declined forms in a dictionary? How big will it become? Suppose you have a child tomorrow, you give a new name. You will have to create extra dictionary entries because that name doesn't exist till now. You'll be in trouble. So declined forms cannot find their way to the dictionary. This is clear. You cannot find Ramayana in the dictionary. But you will find what? Sundaram. How do you find that? That's because it is not a declined form in that context. It is a avyaya. Right? So now I will take you on a ride through a dictionary because I want you to learn this. These are all basics which should be learned well. Then you can be on your own, more so. So I will go to the ashtadhyayi.com, our favorite site, and we will look at a dictionary there. Okay. Oops, sorry. Wrong thing to share. Okay. Now, I will go from the beginning so you can see how it moves, right? Mukhya Prishtam. Now, in the main page of ashtadhyayi.com, right? You go for Kosha Anvesha. Kosha means a collection. Kosha means a collection. Anvesha means search. 2 words you get. Kosha is a collection, a dictionary. Anvesha is a search. Anveshanam. Okay. So you hear Dhana Kosha. is how much money you have. Vyaya kosha, how much is the spendable money you have. So now we go into kosha dictionary. So now it will say this, but it will make it mostly available on offline. So it's good for us, right? So now let us say I want to find a word. What word can I look for? I told you cannot look for any word which is going to be a declined word. So you cannot take all words in a sentence are declined. Has to be declined. And you cannot look any one of them up in the dictionary, okay? Neither verbs nor nouns. But what can look up? You can look up the noun base or the verb base. They may be there. Which verb bases will be there? Now, verbs are of, again, two basic types. This is two basic types only for our understanding, okay? One is verbs which are listed already from time immemorial in the language. They are listed. These are verbs. These are dhatu. They are called dhatu patha. Dhatu patha means what? A list of verbs which has been recited. And grammarians used to make their own verb list. Panini made one that is called Paniniya dhatu patha, which is what we are following. It's a clean list of verbs, roots. These are not derived. We should not ask how did dhatu come from. Dhatu is the starting point. All right. So now you can look. One is these dhatu which are already in the language. Not that other dhatus are not, but other dhatus can be derived from a base or from a noun. If it's derived from a noun, such a dhatu is called a nama dhatu. If a dhatu is derived from a noun, it is called a nama dhatu. For example, if a person wishes for a son, I can say putriyati. What does putriyati mean? He desires for a son. It's a verb now. Tinganta. How did I get the word putriya? Putra plus some pratyaya will give you putriya. Now it's a dhatu. Putriya is a dhatu. Now you can do all the operation to do for a dhatu. Putriyati means what? He desires a son for himself, or a child for himself. This is called a putriya, will be called a nama dhatu. But it is derived. It is not there in the dhatu part. Similarly, we can derive many more dhatus from a dhatu. I had mentioned this earlier, a causative. You know, read is one dhatu, patha. Cause to read, another dhatu. Desire to read, another dhatu. Read intensely, another dhatu. These are all derivable. They're called derived dhatus. Now, in the dictionary, you may be lucky to find some derived dhatus, but generally you won't find derived dhatus. Base dhatu you will find. Okay. And what else will you find? You will find the noun bases. Pratipadikam you will find. This is what you will find in the dictionary. Unfortunately, sentence has neither dhatu nor pratipadikam. It has only pada. So you have to reduce that pada into a pratipadikam. Then you have some hope. Otherwise, you're in trouble. Is this clear? So now let's go back to the dictionary. So what do you find in the dictionary now? I want to look for a word. So let us say right now, I look for the word eva. I look for the word eva. Do you see what's coming up now? It's showing you the meanings. Just give me 1 second. So this particular dictionary is not, see, unfortunately for us now, we have online dictionaries, which are a huge help. So here, he is able in the program to pick up meanings from multiple dictionaries. So this is a dictionary of dictionaries, okay? This is Koshanam Kosha, not just Kosha. So the first one is Amara Kosha. First dictionary he is giving meaning from is Amara Kosha. What is Amara Kosha? Amara Kosha is a dictionary which is written by one Amar Simha. What is this dictionary? We don't call it dictionary. What is it really? It is, he calls it Nama Linga Anushasana. Nama is Pratipadika, name, noun base. Linga, gender. Anushasanam, the discipline of how the noun bases are and what genders they are in. This is its job. And the way it organizes itself is by putting it in categories, and in every category he will give you masculine words for a given name, synonyms, then synonyms in neuter, then synonyms in feminine. And dictionary is organized by categories. It's not an exhaustive dictionary, but very well known. And it's all in Anushtup meter. It can be chanted and memorized whole in shlokas. So if you want synonyms, beautiful place to go. For a given one word you want synonyms, you will find them. And you will get genders if you know how to read the book. Okay. So now come back to the dictionary. So first thing is eva. And in that he gives a very simple meaning. Nishchayarthaha. If you know Sanskritam, you're good. Means definitive. One meaning is given, definitive. Nishchayarthaha. Right? And he immediately tells you the way this dictionary has done the job. Not an Amara Kosha will give you like this, but this is the job done by the person who's written this dictionary of dictionaries. So you can now see the equivalents are evam, tu, punaha, va, eva. All these words in some ways, in some context, will have the same meaning as eva. Okay? So it gives you synonyms at that level. Then you have very interesting thing, something called Abhyankara Vyakarana Kosha. Okay? What's a Vyakarana Kosha? This is a dictionary of Sanskrit grammar. And among the best dictionaries you'll ever find. For Sanskrit grammar, you can't find a better dictionary if you ask me. For grammar. Okay? Just to show you the fun of the dictionary here. Or we'll come back to it a bit. Okay? So we'll come back to this later. Grammar dictionary. Then there's a dictionary called Sabda-Kalpadruma. Huge Sanskrit dictionary, and one more called Vachaspatyam. Another huge one. If you really want the physical copies, they're about, they'll fill up 2 shelves in your bookshelf, ordinary bookshelf. That big, that many volumes. But the whole meaning is available to hear right there. If you know Sanskritam, these are wonderful. Eva, he gives you possible meanings. Samyam, Sadrishyam, Yatha. So many meanings are there. All meanings is meaning. Similarly, Vachaspatyam will give you the meanings. All right. Which most of us may not be able to follow today. It doesn't matter. Move on further. Then he gives you Apte Sanskrit English Dictionary. Apte Sanskrita Angla Kosha. Sanskrit English Dictionary. Written by Vaman Shivaram Apte. Now you will see what? Veda, Eva. This VED means in Veda. Vedic meaning. We are not interested in that normally. Move on. Second meaning is Eva. What does it say here now? IND. What does IND mean? Indeclinable. This is Apte's way of telling you indeclinable. If you looked here, what is the way of saying? Avya. You see this Avya? It means indeclinable. You see here, he is just putting Vya here. I'll have to check whether it's a typo or it's always like this. But this is how indeclinables are presented here. Okay? But in Apte, it will say as IND. This particle, I told you it's not a particle. Particle is Nipata, okay? Sanskrit Nipata is called particle. So they define it as particle. Most frequently, strengthen and emphasize the idea. So So the point is there are many possible meanings of a word. And what Apte will give you is many meanings, and generally he will give you a sentence from the classic literature which will show you how that word is used in that context. Okay. So very useful to know how the dictionary is organized. So for example, he gives one meaning, just quite exactly. Okay. And he says what? Evam eva. That's the meaning. Evam eva. Tells you it's quite exactly like that. So one meaning you will get like that, right? Then only, alone, merely, exclusion. So when I say saha purushaha eva, it means I'm excluding women. He is a man only, exclusion. So like this, you will find multiple shades of meanings can be there for a given word. So if you look at your own sabda-manjari, you will find an avyaya list in the end where we are looking right now, but it will give you one or two meanings. It's a good start, but it is not sufficient. So as we grow, you can make use of more and more in the dictionary. It's a beautiful place to look, and it'll give you everything in an organized way. You also have links for Apte dictionary itself directly. You can type either in Devanagari or English. But that will not organize in the same way. You'll see only Apte there. Whereas if I come here, I will see Apte, I will see, the other dictionary I just showed you, and the McDonald dictionary as well. Therefore, you will have multiple dictionary access through one window. And they are all cut pastable. You can take it and put in a document or wherever you're using it. And therefore, you can play with it, Unicode. Right? So now this is the way the meanings are given. So for example, now it's not just one word, okay? Now what happens is this. Sometimes the word eva, just taking eva as an example right now. Give me 1 second, okay? Okay. I will take another word to demonstrate something else. I was looking for something, I didn't find it. Okay. But the whole point is, this is another dictionary called Monia Williams, not MacDonald, Monia Williams. So this dictionary will also give its own meanings here. Each has its own thing. So you can find a lot of potential possible meanings, but a very common meaning is avyayas, indeed, truly, really, just. These are very common meanings. So sarvam brahma eva means what? Everything is Brahman alone. Alone means what? Nothing is excluded. That emphasis comes there. Right? So we saw earlier a verse, Guru Meva, Bhaje, etc. I told you, Bhajeva, Guru Meva, you can play with a lot of things. But Eva can go here and there. But Eva means, surely, definitely that meaning comes for you. So now if I go and look for a different word, and let's say right now I look for Atha. I look for Atha. Atha is another avyaya, okay? Atha, first meaning you will see straight away is Anantaram. Right? On top. Then you see what? Arambhaha. So if you know Sanskritam, some Sanskritam, because there are people who studied Sanskritam here, you look at this one sentence here. And it will tell you in a verse or in a line or two, what are the general meanings for that? So first meaning is Mangala. Mangala means auspiciousness. Anantara, after. Arambha, beginning. Prashna, question. Kartsnya, total. Vritha, in vain. Nirarthaka, same meaning. So like this, Nana, all the meanings are possible. And in each of these senses, Anantaram is one sense. Arambha is one sense. Kartsnyam is totality. Arambha is beginning. In each of these senses, there are synonyms. Samanarthakaha. Synonyms for that. So you will find atha will also go with atho or atha for anantaram, right? But when it comes to karsnam, you get matra, not everything else. So like this, he will give you at each level. This is the benefit of the Amara Kosha. At every level, he'll give you synonyms. Go further down, they will give you some meanings from each of the dictionaries. You go to Apte dictionary. Now you will find that several meanings are given here. Okay. Afterwards, anantarya. Right? Atha prajanam adhipaha prabhate vanaya dhenu momocha. Atha, then after having done something, okay? Prajanam adhipaha, the king of all the subjects. Prabhate, seventh case, singular. In the morning, prabhata is morning. Dhenum momocha. He released the cow. For what? For it to go to the forest. Vanaya. Vanaya means, this is another use of fourth case, to go to the forest. Why he gave this here now? Atha is after. That's the only thing you want to exemplify. Okay. So like this, they will give you several meanings. And then, yeah. See now, atha we saw. All right. But then you will find atha is connected to so many things. Don't worry if you are not following or remembering everything here, okay? I'm demonstrating a few things to you right now with some useful words. Now, atha api. This atha and api are both avyayas. Atha is also an avyaya. Api is also an avyaya. Now, you can use atha alone, you can use api alone, or you can say atha api. Kim means what? What? Atha kim you can say. It'll have a different meaning. Why you can say, athava you can say. Kim you can say, kim va you can say. You are now doing what? Combining avyayas. In a slightly different sense of meaning, it will start giving you. So when we say avyaya, don't think it's just one avyaya. Avyaya will coalesce with another avyaya and give you another avyaya. And the meanings there can be very, very useful to us. Say, for example, here, see here, athava. What does athava mean? In Sanskrit, those who know will know it means or. Athava. All right. It could also be, a meaning in terms of saying atha kim. Atha kim means what? What else? Certainly. So basically the point is, suppose some argument is given. Bhashyakara may say atha kim, so what? You should follow that. Atha kim means so what? That kind of extra meaning will start coming. Right? So I'm saying all the meanings are sitting in dictionaries. Not all. Many meanings are sitting. And where do dictionaries get it from? From the classics. That's why they give them as examples. The only proof of the meaning of a word really in the language is how it is used in the language. And the usage is from the classics. So they give examples from the classics to show you what are the various likely meanings of an object, or for any word for that matter. Right? So we get a bunch of meanings. So what you see in your sabda-manjari is just a small set, useful set of avyayas with some basic meanings. For more meanings, what do? We have to look further. But the avyayas are extremely useful. Because one word you will know, atha. Now I told you, atha kim, then what? Athava, or va, or cha, and. Cha means and. Na, no. Nahi, not indeed. So like this, you will get bunches of words. I was trying to say, I've been playing how to present this in a way which is easier for you. But if I go to all the details, you will get overwhelmed. If I don't give any detail, that is not good. So I'm trying to find a balance. At the same time, reaching out to people who already know the language, and those who are new. I'm trying to do that too, so that everybody gets something out of this, right? So if you know more, you can use the features better. If you don't, stay with what's minimal, right? So you will find a whole bunch of meanings, and with every meaning, you will get something more. So say, for example, so wrong one. Yeah. Say, for example, I was trying to put together a spreadsheet, okay, but it was becoming a little unwieldy. You take a word like atha. So atha has a meaning of then, afterwards, if, now if, but if, while but. So many meanings are there. Who's going to memorize all this? You can't. Get a general idea, and when usage comes, you have to fix the meaning in your head. That's how it works out, right? But atha kim is a fairly common expression in Bhashya. So I pulled it out here. So what will it mean? What else? It also means yes, exactly so. Has that meaning too? Certainly, right? Sarvatha apsara sambhava esha. So what happened here? It's not the whole thing, it's not there. So now he's giving one usage. No, not clear to me. Maybe I've done a small cut paste mistake. I don't see a atha kim in this context. Leave it alone. Athava, meaning is what? Or, rather, else. Va means what? Or. It also means and. Rarely, but it also means and. Cha will also mean, cha normally means and, but va can also mean and. It also means as well. It also means a possibility. So many meanings are there. Don't conclude, but if you start with or, it's good. You at least know va means or. First meaning, right? More meanings we have to know. Nava is not. Yadiva, or if. All taking off from one word, va. Va means or. Yadva, or else. Kimva, whether. So you can see, if you know the meaning of the word kim, if you know the meaning of the word va, kim means what? Va means or. You combine them, you'll probably land on the meaning, possibly, whether, etc. Okay? So a few avyayas will do a lot of good to you. So api is another avyaya, which is very common. Has a meaning of and, also, to, moreover, a lot of meanings. But basically what you will see the meaning. To, what will you eat? I will eat a banana. And mango also. Ambram api. That api will come as an and. Also. Oh, you will eat a mango? Yes, I will even eat a mango. That even also will come as api. Okay? Very common avyaya, which will come in several meanings, but every meaning we won't have. You won't know in the beginning. First, will you know what? And, also, to, some meanings you will know. But when we look at Bhashyam, this api will come with something else. So it will come like apicha, api kim, kim api. So now we have to put them together and understand what's the meaning. So we will do that as we go in the Bhashya, right? Because there is no end to saying we will learn each of these, one by one from a dictionary. It's impossible. And it's foolishness also. So what we do is we learn the words which come frequently. So this list of words you have in your Subanta, in the sabda-manjari, is a good list to start with. Look at it. We will also look at it in greater extent later. Okay? So that you can start learning words where there's no declining, no conjugating necessary. All right. Now I will stop the subject matter of avyaya and I will share with you. I have actually put an exercise in the shared folder. Okay. Now I'll show you what the exercise is. So you can work on it next week. Whole week you have to play with it. This is not based on today's class. It's based on old classes. Just to see how you do, okay, for yourself. Don't mail me answers. Hold it. Okay. I will share the solution with you later so you can compare and check what you did right or wrong. But if you don't know how to do something, then you should ask. If you get stuck on how to do it, you ask. This is not difficult. Okay. They're graded in terms of saying, you will see now, first 4 parts, the last part alone will be hard. That's for people who know some Sanskritam. They have to work a little hard on it. So they will get it better. Okay. So let me show you what I have put together just for a start. Okay. So here, identify a Purusha, gender, and the letter, ending letter of the following Pratipadikas. Is this clear? Question is clear? I give you one example, okay? Rama. This is a Pratipadika. What is the person? You should know. First, second, or third. What is the gender? Masculine. What is the ending letter? This is for me to find out, for you to find out rather. Are you at least familiar with basics of what nouns are there? Some masculine, feminine, neuter, and what they end in. Are you familiar or not? That this exercise will take care of. Nothing more. It's very, very simple. It should not take you more than 15 minutes to do the job, okay? There are numbers are here, 15 of them, but it should not take you long. For those of you, it will be a breeze. For those who don't know, learn. That's the idea. If you don't know the answers. Work on it. Second one I gave you is similar, but except it's in from dhatu, okay? Now, what's the job here? You take a dhatu. I mean, this is a Tingantapada. Okay? In the Tingantapada, I want you to spot the dhatu. What prayoga is it? So I'm saying Kartari market has 1, Karmani has 2, Bhave has 3. You have to mark which prayoga it belongs to. Then Purusha and Vachana. 3-1 is third person singular, 3-2 is third person dual, 3-3 is third person plural. 2-1, 2-2, 2-1, second person. 1-1, 1-2, 1-3 is first person. Okay? That convention you follow and you mark these. And then the next job is what? You write the meaning. You write the meaning. And the meaning should not mean labha means to gain. That's not good. Like bhu is to be. Dhatu bhu means to be. But what's the meaning here? He is, she is, it is. I want you to say that. Suppose I say bhavami. What should be the meaning? I am, not to be. I want the full meaning. I am. Suppose I say bhavasi. What should the meaning? You are. So you have to give the full meaning, keeping the person and number in view. Okay? So that's the next exercise. So you have 21 of these. Tinganta pada is given. You have to figure out. And all these words are from Dhatu Manjari and they're in the first Gana. Okay? So in case you have forgotten where it is in Dhatu Manjari, I will share that with you right now so that you have no trouble doing that. In Dhatu Manjari, you go to the contents, you will find Prathama Gana is from 9th page to 19th page. Okay? And there, if you recall, we have okay. This is where 7th page, okay, 8th and 9th. This is where it begins, okay? And you find a list. We've seen this list before, right? So any dhatu which you don't know, if you don't know a form, bhavati, you go look up. You will find it within the first gana. First gana means what? From here up to 19, page 9. So you will find a third person singular form. From this, you should be able to deduce what other forms will be, right? So look at them and write the meaning, whatever I asked you for, all of that you have to put down here. Okay. What is the dhatu? What is the prayoga? What is the purusha vachana? And what's the meaning? Write them. If you have trouble, identify where you have trouble and why, because that's what we need to address. Okay. Then the next one is similar to verbs. I have a list of nouns here. Okay. For each noun, what should we do now? Find the pratipadika, find the gender, find every possibility of the vibhakti and vachana. For example, I have given Ramau is the word. Ramau, when you declare Rama Shabda, when will you get it? Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramau, Raman. And what else? He Rama, He Ramau, He Ramaha. So is this answer correct? 1222? It's not totally correct. What should I do? I should add 82. then it is correct. Otherwise, if you marked only 1, 1, 2, you get 30% marks. So idea is you are able to identify all possible cases of the word. When you see a word in a sentence, the skill is to be able to identify what are the possibilities first. Now you zero in which one is it in the context. But first you should know what possibilities they are. So this exercise meant for helping you get there. And then I'm saying write the meaning. The meaning is not two Ramas, just because Dvivachana. It has got a vibhakti. You give a meaning with the vibhakti. So here what I'm saying, two Ramas are the agent or the object of an action. I don't know which one it is. Both possibilities exist, right? Or it could vocative, right? If you got this correctly, then you just have to now take what vibhakti, what vachana meaning is there. Vachana is straightforward. Vibhakti meaning you should get. You don't know all vibhakti meanings except karaka vibhakti. Go with that for now. You can say it is karma, it is karana, what it is you should know. All right. This is another exercise for you. So I have not put too many of the noun bases. There are a few, akaranta, ikaranta, couple of them, couple of other extras. See what you can do. All right. Then comes the last part of the exercise. Now, this one is for some extra energy. Okay, you have to use. What is it now? You have to translate from English to Sanskrit. Till now, only asking Sanskrit to English. Now you do what? Translate English to Sanskrit. What's the exercise? Sentence is this: I am. Very simple. Okay. Start with that. You have to translate. What is the pratipadika for I am giving you that? Asmad. If you don't know, Asmad. Now you should know first person, second person, third person, which case, which number. Find the appropriate word. If necessary, look at sabda-manjari, but try to translate. Okay. So first is very simple. I am, you are, Rama is. Then I am you, you are me. Translate. Once I've told you is Yushmat, I'm not giving again what's the noun base. You find it. All right. Similarly, you have a lot of sentences. 18 sentences are there. Play with them. Is this clear? Is the exercise clear? So it gives you something to chew on, okay? They're not difficult. But at last one, if you can do, then you're doing very well with what we have learned so far. You're doing very well. But you will need to know what? Minimum, little at least of Yushmat Shabda, Asmat Shabda. That is first person, second person. I can't allow you to not know them. All right. And then a few. And I'm saying this is open book test, all right. You can open the book and if you can do it with closed book, very good. You can do it with open book, good. You still can't do it with open book, then something is missing here. That gap you have to communicate to me, why you cannot do. Then we'll look into it. Okay. So this is how the first exercise is in my head. So it came out like this. Later we will see. We may be able to automate certain things and make you do it on Google Sheets. I didn't want to bother Kirtivardhan this week, so I didn't. But next time we will catch him and give you some exercise where you can do it, and I will get to see who all responds in what way. Right now, please don't send me the answer, okay? Because I don't have time to look at everybody's answers. We will look at them together, or I'll share the solution. Okay? Start. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, Ritesh.
Pranam Swamiji. When we were explaining, you were explaining the avyaya in page 145.
Yeah.
There was a line yad tad was there, right? And we said yad navyeti. But and tad avyam.
Correct.
So, but Yad is not clear. Only ya is there, and then
Okay,
it is
yad is
followed by
not
na.
clear. Fair enough. Yad is not clear. That's because you have not looked probably at the Sarvanama Shabda. Have you looked at Sarvanama Shabda so far or not yet?
Just glanced over it.
Okay, you will have to look a little more into it because,
Okay.
see, as I said, it's very difficult to give any example or explain anything unless we have a sufficient base, right? But having said what you have said, now let us look at Yad Shabda, all right? Give me 1 second. I just want to share the screen, so anything I do will be shared now. Okay. Stop share, sorry. Share. Share. Okay, that's fine. So now everything should be in good shape. You're able to see this now, right? The Ashtadhyayi.
Yes.
Okay. So now in Ashtadhyayi, we will go to the we'll first go to the Mukhya Pata. That's easy. You will know where we go. From here, we go to Shabda Patha. Okay. In Shabda Patha, I am interested in Yat. Yad or Yat. Okay. Okay. That's a problem with English. You just have to type it in Sanskritam. It will show you. Okay. So Yad will go into. Now you see Yad is Dakaranta Pullinga. So this goes as what? Yaha Yau Ye, Yam Yau Yan, etc. This is how it declines. If I go back and I go for Dakaranta Pullinga, it goes what? Yat Ye Yani, Yad Ye Yani. All right. This Yat is what now? Ekavachana, singular, and Prathama singular and Dutiya singular. You say you don't understand Yat. Yat is coming from.
Okay.
Does it make sense? So, see, unfortunately, everything won't be clear because there are so many words you have to know. We are taking baby steps. So when I point out, you ask if you end out. You have to go and look. Because unless you know pronouns, a lot of things will be difficult. Therefore, deliberately, I'm using those as examples so you will learn as you. So yat, right? That, the meaning is that here, it's a relative correlative. So if you go back, see here, yat does not give a meaning, right? We don't know what it means. But if you were to look in your book, sabda-manjari will tell you what yat means. Which, that which, right? Or you can go and look at dictionary, but it's a relative. So it's basically that which does not change is an avyaya. That's what we want to say. That which does not change is, that's a basic definition. Yat na vyeti does not change. Vyeti, na vyeti does not change. What is that? That correlative is yat. Yat, that which does not change. Tat, that. Yat and tat are two sides of one coin. So tat will give you now tat avyayam. That which does not change is an avyayam. What's the verb there? Asti. Avyayam, asti. So now, yat, tat, and avyayam are all what case? First case singular. This much is involved in that sentence. But this will be clearer if you understand yat as 1-1, avyayam as 1-1, and tat as 1-1, neuter. All neuter. Is that clear?
Yes.
What clear? It won't be totally clear, perhaps. I understand
somewhat
that.
clear.
So same way, if you look for tad, you will find the other side of it. See, dakaranta, pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga. Go to napumsakalinga, you will find tattetani, tattetani. And mind you, whenever a word is ending in, you know, a consonant like ta, etc., an optional form in the language is the third letter of the same consonant class. Tat, tat, tad, tad, all four can be said as tad. This is a question somebody had raised earlier also. I will make this rule clearer when we do sandhis. But right now understand, tat and tad are equivalent. Suppose the next word after tat is avyaya, it has to become tad. But suppose the next word was, shabda, it would remain as tat. In fact, it will become tat shabdam. So these are sandhi rules. I don't want to overload you with all the information at one time, because if you're starting, you will feel like I have no place to go. So I want you to focus on the basics. But then this is something we should note, because you may find, Swamiji, which is correct? No, tat is correct or tad is correct. Both are okay. If you know the rules right later, sandhi will make you change one only. You cannot use either of them. But when you decline, you say both tat and tad. And this is not given in sabda-manjari in many forms. You will not see it. You will see only one form. Tat tetani tad. You may not see tad. But it's a valid way of representing it. You will find this with a lot of halanta words. So just be aware that when you see multiple forms, generally it will be third of the class. Third means what? Ka, kha, ga, gha, na. 5 are there in a class. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. And then the third one will be an optional form. Okay. So Virat can become Virad. Ta will become da, ta, ta, da. Marut will become Marud. Okay. So there are more rules. Okay. Let's not get into too many of them. But this is a rule which you will encounter now when you see tat. Therefore, I'm mentioning it. All right.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Any other questions? Or if something was hard, you can ask. Yes, Niru.
Namaste, Swamiji. I had a doubt in Sambodhanam. The Dvivachanam and Bahuvachanam is the same as the Prathama Vibhakti.
Correct.
In Ekvachanam, it's quite different in most of the declensions. How is it derived? Like, how do we know?
It's how, you know what, if I tell you a rule, it's one more thing to remember, that's all. So
Okay.
know that Sambodhana Ekavachana is different. Can be different. Not always, can be different. And you have to know it. Because even if you study grammar rules, what will you tell? You'll know now? You will know some rules of grammar, why it happens so, and when will it happen so. But it won't add a huge amount of value. So you just have to know Sambodhana is like this. And what you notice is correct. The Prathama, Sambodhana is called Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti. It is called Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti. I told you there's no 8 Vibhakti. That's our convention, 8. But really what? It is first case only. But not the first case that you see as first case. It is special. It is Sambodhana Prathama. And that word hey is not mandatory. I may not say hey Rama, I might just say Rama. You should know. Rama means it has to be Sambodhana, no other way. Prathama. Therefore, it is Sambodhana Prathama, and that may be different from the Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana. But the second and third, you will find will be the same. Dvivachana and Bahuvachana will be the same. So Sambodhana Prathama alone is a problem, which you have to take extra care. Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Anything else?
So, Swamiji, the Nipata, yes. Can you explain a little?
Please raise your hands. I'll come to you in sequence. Okay. Santosh, go ahead.
Pranam, Swamiji. The exercise which you have sent, are we supposed to take a printout of it? Or
you do whatever you want. When you want to check the answers, I will give you the answers next week and you can compare and see what is right, what is wrong. That's about it. But if you have difficulty doing it, you can send a mail and say, this I don't understand. So I can take it up next class or respond to the person as is convenient to me.
Thank you so much.
So right now, don't, because any exercise I will not be able to see. If I see also, I will see 1 or 2 people. And then I will ask them to see this. And that may be also a lot of work. So right now, I'm saying I will share for the first 3 parts. There's not a big deal. Okay. It's just a matter of knowing what is what. Last one, translation, there may be a little more work to do. So we'll look at it maybe. All right. Yes, somebody was asking a question. Now you can raise your hand or ask. Santosh, you're done, right? Yes, Shanish.
Nipata, Swamiji, can you explain?
Nipata is just a word for which there is no rule of how it is defined. That's how the word is. See, in fact, every word is in a way Nipata. But within the grammar world, we say we can derive Bhavati, we can derive Ramaha, we can derive Ramena. All these words are derivable using a process of grammar. But Nipata is something where the grammarians say these words just the way they are. Nothing that could be derived. That's how they begin. That's how they are. So therefore, they're just the way they are. There is no further derivation. Therefore, Nipatas will all be avyayas. They will not decline.
So the
All
class is
Nipatas-
avyaya. Sorry to interrupt you. The class is avyaya.
Yeah.
Okay. So all
What do you
avyayas are nipatas.
No. Look, Nipata, it can be considered a subdivision, subclass of avyaya.
Okay.
The word Nipata I mentioned for one reason mainly, because when you look at a dictionary, they translate the word Nipata as particle. And I want you people to be able to use a dictionary. Therefore, I showed how it is a dictionary, and in that context, I said the word particle means Nipata, and Nipata just means the word is like that, and grammarians say it was not derived in any way. That's all it means. Because you could even have a word like this is also Nipata. It is called anarthako Nipata, which means what? You cannot give a meaning. But that can have a meaning in the society, and that meaning can be collected, and it has been done. So just a sound can give you a particular meaning, and that's how we do. Suppose I ask you, would you like to go? Yeah, that yeah will have a different voice, different tone, and you could say means yes. Shake of head, don't hear it. But words sometimes are not words, they are just sounds, and the meanings are understood. So those will also go under Nipata. So Nipata just means this is how the word is. We didn't derive it in any way using any dhatu or pratipadika or pratyaya, nothing. That's how it is. Cha is a Nipata. Na is a Nipata. Lot of Nipatas. There are fact books called Nipata Artha Nirnaya, which tells you how to understand meaning of Nipatas. So everything is a huge topic if you start looking. But in our total scheme of things, Nipata is a small little thing. And I'm just saying, you understand all Nipatas are avyayas, and avyayas, a few of them we have to know. That's where we leave it.
Okay, thank you. And akhyata is verb.
Akhyata is verb. Nama is noun.
Okay.
So some school will say there are 4 types of words: Nipata, Upasarga, Akhyata, and Nama. So if you see that, understand they are reclassifying it slightly, but 99% of the words will fit under Subanta and Tinga, Nama and Akya.
Yeah, that's fine, because at this moment we don't have the I don't have the energy to go beyond Subanta and Tingana actually.
Because Subanta and Tingata are huge, and I'm saying we first should learn the basics of the language.
Exactly.
So we understand the language, then we can extend our reach. That's why you see I didn't introduce too many new things today, so that you don't have much to learn again. No memorization almost. So you have time, 1 more week to catch up.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you.
So we catch up, and then hopefully we can make more progress in the language as we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else?